48 hours of actually, going live with you guys, which happened about 3 or 5 days later, I had my first property appraisal and listing and sale, all within a 48 to 72 hour period. I've got my return on investment, where the other guys, I've got nothing to show for it. I've had full days in Maryborough where I've literally gone back to back from one appraisal to the next.
Calvin, you're a real estate agent, yes?
Yes.
Yeah, amazing. And you sell residential property?
Residential properties only at this time.
Okay, great. And the areas that you cover predominantly?
So my major focus is the Fraser Coast region, but Hervey Bay and Maryborough are the primary areas, with I suppose the secondary area being the Burham Heads and peripheral sort of surrounding suburbs that I suppose lie between Maryborough and Hervey Bay.
Beauty. And I know you're very much in the details, similar to me in terms of data. What were you doing in terms of numbers, like listing presentations or listing appraisals before working with us? And what are you doing now? I think after like a couple of months.
Oh, wow. Well, I've been a new business and struggling to get appraisals, maybe one or two a week, to now doing multiple a week. So I can do anywhere from probably in a bad week about 2, but 5, 6, 7 a week. I've actually had at one stage, I think it was 3 or 4 in a day, and I would have had more that same day, but customer had to change their plans to. So I've had full days in Maryborough where I've literally gone back to back from one appraisal to the next. So
you're busy.
Yeah, very busy. Very busy.
Nice. And what change has made? What changes have been made to your actual day-to-day life? Running the business, and also everything outside of that. How are things different now since you've had those?
I think the big ticket thing is you're not chasing the cold leads all the time. You're not just picking up a phone and phoning people to have them, not interested, or maybe inviting you in their home just because they're curious and really have no intent in the future. So 90% of what's coming through you guys are people who generally interested in some time in the future of selling their property.
Right.
Some of them saying, well, the next 12 months, so they may not be today, but you're getting that opportunity to talk to people who have a genuine interest in what the market's doing. And as I said, some of them are hot leads as well. So it's, enabling us to actually put our focus in the right people.
Yeah, nice. And I remember like it was yesterday, because we did connect very, very effortlessly on our initial call. I recall, I think it was same day booked where you just want to jump on a call. But why did you decide to start working with us in the first place?
Well, to be honest, I was working with another agency, and I have since terminated them. But being a fresh agency in a really competitive marketplace, Hervey Bay has a lot of established agents that have been doing this for a long, long time. And not only has it got established agencies, it's got a lot of established agents, that have really robust careers here that have, it's been their livelihood and their life, so to crack into that is notoriously difficult. Mm-hmm. So I've been originally joined with another group, which I suppose professed to do the same sort of stuff that you guys do, finding me leads and that sort of stuff. And it seemed like a good idea at the time. The only problem is a lot of their leads seem to be forced leads. In fact, I had another one this morning because I haven't finalised them, and they finish up at the end of the month. Mm-hmm. They were on a 3-month contract. But you call the customer to follow up from their lead, and you get abused because they were forced to give their details. They were coerced into do something, and now that they've got you, that's they've had a chance to think about it, and they lash out to you and say, hang on, I didn't really want to talk to you in the first place. So that's actually ruining my reputation. I'm happy to feel those issues, but I knew that, these sort of models do work. I've researched enough and that sort of stuff. And by chance, I got a call from you guys. I was sitting having a cup of coffee the one day, and I thought, well, let's have a chat. And, before I knew it, within a matter of hours, you were on the phone. And we had that discussion, and it just went ballistic after that. We signed up on the same day. Within about 48 hours of actually going live with you guys, which happened about 3 or 5 days later, I had my first property appraisal and listing and sale, all within like a 48 to 72 hour period. So yeah, and it's not stopped. I mean, what you guys have done to me, although it's a capital outlay, it's paid for itself. I've got my return on investment, where the other guys, I've got nothing to show for it. I've not had a positive appraisal from them at all.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. And why do you think our system gets results and others don't? I think you pretty much hit the nail on the head with that one. But like, I'd love to hear just a couple of words on that one.
One of the things I think that's different from the way you guys are doing it is you inviting people to actually make the decision for themselves. Do they want to have a discussion with the agent? Whereas the other agency, and I don't want to mention their names because they obviously have their place in this industry, and I've heard they've had success with others. But what they're doing is purely cold calling. They've taken over the cold calling that I was doing, but they're doing it aggressively. So you guys are inviting people through your systems and methods that you use, through your socials, etc. And you're inviting people to come to me. You're not forcing me to go to them. And I think that's a massive difference. It's putting decision making in the decision maker's hands, and not forcing their hand to do anything that they want to do.
Yeah, gotcha. And what has a process of work with us over? I think it's been like a month and a half to 2 months.
Oh yes, it's gone crazy.
Yeah, what's it been like?
It's been great. What I like about it is, you guys. Every time I've had a little difficulty or there's been a little glitch or something like that, from yourself who owns this business, right down to every single employee of your company, jumps around and sorts it out. I remember the one evening I had this minor little problem, and I said to Ray, don't worry about it, you can sort it tomorrow. But he was insistent on doing it. This is like 5:30, 6 o'clock at night. The guy's still doing, something for me that wasn't critical. So the fact that everything is prioritized, is reassuring, because it's nice to know that you've got somebody who's got your back. I just don't feel like I'm alone.
Calvin, that's super sweet. I'm not even joking. That is very sweet.
And it's not about blowing your trumpet or anything like that, mate. It's just facts of what I've observed. I'm not saying you guys are perfect, because we've only worked together, as you said, about a month and a half, 2 months, and I'm sure any business will probably drop the ball at some time, but it's been seamless so far, which is just phenomenal. It's not something I expect, having especially worked with the other mob. From day one I was getting people abusing me because of the mannerisms that they would be forced and coerced to do something they didn't want to do. To this situation where it's fluid.
My last question is, what would you say to someone who has maybe been burnt in the past by another marketing company and is thinking of signing up with us, but isn't sure and is on the fence?
I've already done that. I've already given you one referral, because that same person who I referred you to actually warned me about this other agency that I went with, and he said to me he'd been burnt there. But, maybe I was stupid for not listening to him, but sometimes you've got to try things for yourself, because I had heard conflicting things. There are others that said it worked for them and got their businesses established. So I would say, if you're thinking of doing it, do it. And that's what Karen says, have that discussion. It costs you nothing to have that discussion. Give it a crack, give it a go. And, what's the worst case? You don't pay your fee, because if you don't get a listing, there's no fee. You've got that guarantee. And I think I'm testament. My business is a little bit older than our relationship. I've been in business now for 5 months, and we've had a relationship roughly 2. So to be call it a virgin in a new business, and to actually getting a brand established and people recognizing me slowly but surely, and the most importantly, getting me into their homes to appraise it, is testament to what aligning your business with the right people can do. So I would suggest anybody who's in the game, give it a crack, give it a go. You've got to be in it to win it. And it may not work for everybody. I mean, we all know that, there's different demographics and all that sort of stuff, and different communities and that. But, from my experience, it's been very well received, and it's definitely helped me accelerate my business. And like I said, not only has it paid the cost for itself, I've basically paid the whole subscription up front, because of the listings and sales that we're getting through. So anything that I get from now is cream,
Yeah.
So and as I said before, there's so many different options like this, but if you break in even, and that's the worst case scenario, well, what have you lost?
Yeah.
What have you lost?
Bigger database, if anything.
Exactly. Oh, my database has gone ballistic. I don't even know how many you've got. I reckon I've got 300 or 400 people in my database, and I started with 140. The meetings with EXP, that's an icon meeting, which is why Karen's getting confused. It's EXP's icon, which are the agents who've achieved over $100,000 in GCR.
How are we going?
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah. We're doing. We haven't got those figures in the bank yet, but we're getting listings. I think we might crack it. We might crack it.
That's a goal. Well, look, Calvin, let's wrap that one up. I thank you very much for your time on answering those questions. I appreciate it, and I'm sure we'll have another catch up in like the next couple of months as well.
Sounds good, mate. Sounds good. And please, if you could just give my thanks to all the crew, mate, because like I said, they're legends, and it's been a pleasure working with all of them. So, thanks very much.